runners, running with the runners, running with the runners.
Hey, welcome in, runners. We have a special presentation for you today. I am loving working with Quantify Global. These guys are just absolutely amazing. They all got in a Zoom with us when we were getting ready to look at this and deciding if we wanted to come in, answered all our questions. I was super impressed. And I thought we were just going to get 2 or 3 of them today, but I think we got the whole team here, and that's just, kind of how they roll. And it's been great to get to know them. So, Chris, we can just kind of start with you and go around. If you guys just want to introduce yourself and let us know what you do for the company, and then we can kind of share why we think this is absolutely amazing.
Well, thank you very much, Mike. Appreciate you inviting us here. I'm Coach Chris. I'm the CMO, Chief Marketing Officer with Quantify Global. So I've developed the affiliate program, and I work directly with the programmer on the website.
Awesome. And of course, you guys all know Ricardo Hamilton, aka M.I.M.S, making it make sense, my man. I know you're excited about this. Maybe just drop some knowledge for the people about why we're so excited here.
Hey, y'all know y'all running with the runners, and we always find value. And right now, where the economy is, people need options. And I'm telling you, we found something that's phenomenal for everybody to take advantage of. Dealing with banking, dealing with crypto. So make sure you guys take some notes, get ready to run, okay? Because this is phenomenal. This is huge. Take advantage.
Yes, sir. David, what's up, brother? You play a big role here. I know you're the man with all the answers.
Well, that's a very high bar, but I do appreciate the expectation. And yes, as president of IBANTech, my role here is to truly give the broad overview of what our capabilities are and how we can support your network.
Awesome. Johnny, what's up, brother?
Hey. Fat up. No, I'm Johnny Bowles. I'm the CEO and co-chair of Quantify Global. So I help oversee the entire company, one of them that does that. And I also lead and oversee the corporate sales side of the house, which includes white labels, single currency accounts, multi-currency accounts, OTC, because we have an OTC and a trading desk. So that's my major role with what I do with the company on the corporate side of the house.
Yeah, you guys do so many amazing things. Like Ricardo and I were just blown away the first time we met. So this is why there's so many of them, is you guys are going to find out they do just about everything you could ever want. And Patrick, what's up with you, brother?
Yes, nice to meet you there, Mike. I'm Patrick Coachman here in Toronto, Canada. I'm the vice president of the company, working directly with the team, overlooking operations, and helping with my years of experience in marketing, over 30 years. And
awesome.
Here then feel very, very powerful in the system that we have to cross crypto and fiat. And that alone is just amazing of what we will be doing for the world. One of a kind.
Yeah, I love it. Our community struggled with that the last few years, especially in America. We talked about Operation Choke Point 2.0 a lot with our community. And are you guys are all international? Is there a specific place where the company's based out of, or you just have multiple places all over?
Well, thank you for asking, because that's really incredibly important. Obviously we're heavily situated in the U.S., but we have offices not only in the U.S., but in Canada. We have offices in the U.K. We have offices in Kenya, as well as the Middle East and Europe. And so when we say that we are global, we truly are global. We have a global footprint, but a global support network as well. And something that is so incredibly important, and this opening message that I will share with your network, is that banking, which we would think would become easier and easier as we go into higher levels of technology. But in reality, we've seen a tightening on the banking side, a tightening in the US by the Fed, but even more so globally for corporate and individual banking. We also would have had the expectation that crypto, which is becoming a norm with so many countries and financial institutions, is become an absolute pariah with banks. And many banks will not touch crypto. And as I was mentioning before we jumped on the air with your network, most banks utilize a large network of correspondent banks. And every bank has the opportunity to decline a transaction. And because so many banks, most banks are not crypto friendly, it creates horrible barriers. And that is one of our huge differentiators, is that not only do we support crypto individual and corporate entities in the US, but we do it globally and dedicated direct accounts for people so their funds are always secure. And that's really our strength, is that we provide tremendous security and global ability.
Yeah, we were really impressed with that. And Anthony, I'll let you, before we get started, Anthony, if you want to introduce yourself.
Yeah, sure. Thanks to Mike, and nice seeing you guys again, actually. So yes, my name is Anthony. I am president and founder and co-owner of Quantify Global, and I do the business strategy and business development of the company, the direction of the company, and like everyone has said here, Quantify Global is really here for everybody: the underbanked, the net worth clients, family offices, large organizations. So we are here to support the finance world. That's what we're here to do. And I'm here to make sure that Quantify Global is a name around the world.
Oh, I love it. Of course, we got our brother Peter here, who we're thankful for reaching out with us. I'm sure you guys know him. He's Mr. Wonderful, big time networker. Peter, thanks for reaching out, brother, and putting this on our radar. All right. So, yeah, I mean, we met with these guys and they answered all our questions. I was super impressed with their knowledge, how they have everything covered. So, David, if you kind of want to start us off here and just explain, the mission, the vision that you guys have when it comes to Quantify Global and, the problem you guys are really solving.
Absolutely, yes. And it really comes to the core of what we do with Quantify. And that is taking and marrying banking, crypto, and card issuing under one roof, and giving users, whether they're individuals or corporate entities, the ability to access this banking, again, secure banking, which is critically important, but also not just in, say, US dollars, or not just in Western currencies, so US dollars and CAD, but we have, for payout purposes, we have the ability to pay out in over 190 currencies, in over 240 countries, jurisdictions. And so really, I would say that our value proposition, our claim to fame, is that as long as you are not in an OFAC sanctioned country, so no Iran, no North Korea, right now no Russia, but that will change, we can support your onboarding. And a great example would be a new client of ours, a corporate client of ours. They came to us with a huge number of corporate and individual users in Ukraine. And even though Ukraine had been put on the sanction list, believe it or not, recently, as of the last month, they were removed. So we were able to support all of that business. And so our global reach is some of our greatest strength. And let me share this with respect to the banking platform. All of our clients, all of your clients that join the platform, that get accounts on the platform, create their own closed loop ecosystem. And I just want to say that again, because for your network, the value is so big. It creates your own closed loop ecosystem, enabling your members, your network, to move money between one another instantaneously.
Whew.
No matter where
Thank
you
you,
are.
Jesus.
Exactly. And by the way, I want to expand on that appreciation for God, because we have the ability to accept SWIFTs globally. We have local currency capabilities. So in the US, you can send and receive an ACH. Well, in Canada, you can send and receive an Interact. In Europe, you can send and receive a SEPA. In the UK, you can do it with faster payments. And the list goes on and on and on. In the UAE, they have a local money movement. There is local money movement in many, many countries. And in many of these countries, we support that local movement method. So instead of waiting for a SWIFT, which is a 24-hour time frame, in many cases, these are instant transactions. So as we're talking about the capabilities and the global capabilities on the banking, I would be remiss to not mention the crypto exchange integration, because this is really a true game changer on the banking front, because what we've done is we've enabled individuals where we're giving them their own blockchain account as well to take any fiat, any currency that they have in their bank account and instantly buy crypto. But also on the inverse of that, let's say you've just moved crypto from your crypto.com or your Binance account or any other exchange where you may be keeping your cryptocurrency, and you send it over to our platform. You have the ability to instantly sell that crypto, and the fiat dollars show up immediately in your bank account. Now, to tie everything together with the card issuing, and an incredibly unique feature is giving clients the ability, not only from the fiat that they have sitting in their bank account, but the ability to take the crypto and load their cards with the crypto, because on the back end, we convert it to fiat. And that is a revolutionary thing to offer to people, where they can take their crypto and actually load it to a card via our fiat rails, enabling them to spend in real time all over the world. And that's the incredible uniqueness of what QFI brings.
And I want to hit on that. And just so everyone's clear, and maybe you can speak on this as well. So let's say I have some crypto. I have Bitcoin, I have Ethereum, I have USDC. I can send it to Quantify, sell it into dollars or whatever local currency you are in. And then you actually told us on the call, you can have that if you wanted to. I don't know after you experience Quantify why you'd want to, but let's say I bank with Chase here in the United States. So I could sell it in the USD on Quantify, and if I wanted to, send it right to Chase almost instantly, and then be able to pay my mortgage, my car note, whatever it is. Or I can also just pay my mortgage or car note straight from Quantify. Is that accurate, or can you because to me that's massive. I've never seen anyone that could do that so quickly as you guys do.
So thank you, and you are absolutely correct. And the only addition, because I'm not going to modify anything you said, because everything you said is 100% accurate. The only addition that I'm going to make is that when an individual or a corporate entity gets an account on the Quantify platform, that blockchain account is a dedicated account to your client. Quantify or nobody else has access to their money, and that is so important. And that is, by the way, exactly the same case on the banking side. These are not pooled accounts, which is what you typically get with a banking platform. These are all named, dedicated bank accounts with these tier 1, tier 2 banks. And so exactly the road that you went down is exactly the way it works. And I just sprinkle the air of we protect our clients' money because they and they alone have access to their funds.
Hey, David, you want to add to that because a lot of people say, oh, you look like this other company, you look like this other platform. Can you please cover the MSB EMI licensing?
Thank you. It's like we planned this.
Oh yeah, the pooled accounts. Yeah.
Well, such
Go ahead, David.
an important message, because throughout the world, including in the US, many banking platforms, bank providers, they are MSB, money service businesses, they're EMIs, electronic money institutions, PSPs, payment service providers. And by the way, Chime, for example, Chime, who is a multi-billion-dollar company in the US offering banking services, they're a money service business. Revolut in the UK, multi-billion-dollar company, they are an electronic money institution. Many of the trust companies in the US that go out as quote-unquote banks, they too have a pooled environment. And that is why what I'm mentioning to you and what Anthony brought up is so critically important. Because with an MSB, with an EMI, with a PSP license, all of their client funds are held in a pooled environment, and there's only segregated in a ledger, which means if they go away, so does all of your money. You have no security. And the incredibly disingenuous and dishonest comments by these companies are, your funds are secured at JP Morgan. your funds are secured at Barclays. Well, the reality is it doesn't matter if they said your funds are secured in my mattress under my bed, because the reality is it doesn't matter what financial institution your funds are at, because they are in a pooled environment. And that is the truly monumental difference with QuantumFi, because within our platform, as I've mentioned before, and it's worth mentioning again and again, every client gets their own dedicated named bank account, which nobody else has access to. And here is the best thing that I can share with all of you. If one day you logged into the platform and you couldn't access your account, you can walk into a bank branch and give them your account number and get your money. Because it is massive, and thank you, that's so important. We are the technology that pulls all of this together. We have teams at the banks that get our clients approved in record time. We have so many advantages that the banks have given us because of the huge, enormous volume that we give to them. But none of that reduces the value that is provided with direct bank accounts, direct blockchain accounts. That creates the ultimate security scenario. And that's why it's so important that we share that with your network.
And
David, I would also talk about, if you don't mind, the OTC as well, because a lot of people with crypto would be very interested in that.
Most certainly. And, interestingly, most people have very little knowledge about how crypto works. They simply know that they buy crypto. Their crypto is secure because they're keeping it in an exchange. They've been told that they should look at cold storage, even though it's ridiculous unless you're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars. But the fear is that your money is not secure. And that's why it's so important to always communicate to every client that our integrated exchange partners are fully licensed. They are abiding by all of the US regulations, but also the global crypto regulations. Nothing is being skirted. But again, dedicated blockchain accounts. So the client is the only one that can ever access their money. And Johnny, that is the key element when it comes to crypto and OTC. It's the same message on banking, but an incredibly important message.
100%. That's why I wanted to make sure that was mentioned, because that's so important. So important.
No, I totally agree. And David, can you explain, first of all, you spoke a lot of places in the world. Can you run through Australia? Because we have a big team in Australia and New Zealand. And then if you could add on to that, what banks you guys use, or because that was the first question I got asked is, well, what banks are they leveraging to make all this happen?
Sure. And Australia, for example, in that region, we have Westpac. But we also have other banks as well in that region. We have a unique ability with the different currencies. Australia is one of them, where we can actually provide a dedicated AUD account. And let me just give you a unique process flow within our platform that gives people the ability to, say, have an AUD account, but also if they do business in the US or in the UK or in the EU, to get paid instantly. Let's say we have somebody in Australia and they're working with somebody in the US and they want to get paid immediately. Well, what we do for them is we'll open up a multi-currency account. So we're going to give them a USD account. So that's going to be at, say, JP Morgan or B of A or Cross River, a major bank in the US. And then we're also going to give them an account, an Australian dollar account, and it's going to be at a major bank in Australia. Well, here's how the process flow works. An ACH, which is a local payment in the US, is literally same day. So let's say I was paying somebody in Australia. Well, instead of going into my bank and sending a SWIFT and them waiting for the funds to clear and waiting days for those funds to arrive, I'm going to send a local ACH to their USD account. They're going to receive that ACH literally, I'm going to say almost immediately, in USD, within their platform, they have the ability to then move those USD funds directly to, say, their Australian bank account and convert them to AUD. This is virtually an internal transfer. So this happens instantly. Now, once they have the funds in their AUD account, because we have local rails in Australia, somebody could pay their bills or move the funds to their own local bank account virtually immediately. So we are truly leveraging the local banking rails in many countries and then giving our clients the ability to benefit from that. And I'm going to be a little long-winded because I want to mention something that we're doing in India, because it really epitomizes the true quantum-fi capabilities. So in India alone, there are over 5 million people that get paid by US companies on a monthly basis. That doesn't include people who are getting paid out of Dubai in India and out of Europe, out of the UK, just out of the US, over 5 million people a month. And it costs a bloody fortune. If you use PayPal, you're going to spend about 10%. And this is true sending money virtually anywhere with PayPal. Wise Payments, they have a solution, which is also incredibly expensive. And it takes figure a week. Well, what we do is very similar to the process that I just mentioned. So we'll open up a local USD account for individuals in India, for corporations in India. And this way, the US company, instead of having to send that SWIFT, which is going to take weeks, and then convert to Indian rupees, they send a local ACH. The individual in India gets their money pretty much the same day. They convert those USD dollars over to Indian rupees. Now in India, we have something called RTGS, which is the local money movement, and it stands for real-time gross settlement. Well, with RTGS, you can move funds from your Indian rupee account with us to any other bank account in India immediately. You can pay your bills immediately. And so we're truly taking what is a global money movement experience and creating a local environment. We're doing that, by the way, not only in India, not only in Australia, but Africa as well. I mentioned we have an office in Nairobi, Kenya. Well, not only do our office people have a USD account and a Kenyan shilling account, so they get paid immediately, but we are working with a number of major local banks in Kenya because they are now providing their users not only with direct Kenyan shillings account locally, but any of them that need a USD account or a Euro or a GBP or an AUD out of Dubai, we're able to deliver that immediately through those banks.
Yeah, I mean, M.I.M.S, is this wild or what? I can't even believe this is happening.
It's next level innovation. Next level.
It
innovation.
is happening. It is happening. It's happening right. So it's really cool, guys. This isn't maybe this happens in 3, 4, 5, 6 months. It's happening right now. Right now. Go ahead.
Yeah.
If I can add to that, guys. We're talking about what we can do, right? But let me tell you what we've done. Okay, what we have done in the Caribbean, Trinidad and Tobago. I don't know if you guys understand what the banking issue has been for, since they've been around, but it has changed. We have impacted in a way where it's historical, actually. And we did that through Quantified Global. Okay, so normally out there, and we have someone from Trinidad here. He's not from Trinidad, but he has huge connection over there, Mr. Patrick Coachman. So Patrick, I'm going to tell him your success story with what we did in Trinidad. So normally, someone from Trinidad only has a credit of $300 that they can use monthly through banking systems, paying online, whatever it is. That's it, $300. And they also don't allow Google Pay in those islands. Well, Quantified Global found a way to get all these Trinidadians, or people from Trinidad, sorry, Patrick, to be able to access whatever amount of funds they have within our system and use it. So there's no more limitations on the kind of funds that they can use within the Caribbean. So right now there's people with our virtual card and our physical card using whatever it is they want to use, when they want to use it, and any time that they want to use it. So that's
Truly
a huge,
historical.
Yeah.
huge.
Sorry, Anthony.
Freeing up capital and access. That's massive. Yeah. That's
Historical.
massive. Yeah.
Historical.
Man, there's so many things we could talk about right now. One thing I'm going to pull this up here, guys, and maybe David can speak to this, because to me this is massive. Is the difference of the secured charge card versus your standard debit card? Does anyone want to speak on that for a little bit?
Absolutely. I will say that I tend to be long-winded, but I certainly would like the opportunity to address this because it is a monumental difference. We are also accustomed to our debit cards that are issued from our bank, and those are referred to as direct debit. And then there are what are prepaid debit cards. And in the US, we're accustomed to seeing prepaid debit cards in every supermarket, 7-Eleven, liquor store, drugstore. Everybody has a prepaid card that you can instantly load and use. Not as common globally, but so debit and prepaid debit are very, very common. Now, we're all obviously familiar with credit cards. And the challenge that many people have with debit and prepaid debit is that there are inherent restrictions. Many of you will be familiar with some of these restrictions that I'm going to mention. So in travel situations, so if you are renting a car, you cannot use a debit card. If you are staying at a hotel, they're going to take an extra 2 nights and take that off your card. And then after you check out, it will take anywhere from a few days to a week for you to get your money back. Airline travel, you cannot use a debit card. And so travel specifically is very challenging when it comes to debit. And there are a number of other areas. Actually, the crypto space has some inherent issues with debit. Well, what we're doing is not issuing debit. We are issuing a secured credit card. And why did we opt to go that route? Because our clients still need to have good funds on hand to spend, like a debit card. But the difference is, let's say you check into a hotel. Whatever the balance on your card is, that's seen as your credit limit. So you're not going to be asked for an additional 2 nights when you're checking in with the QuantumFi card, because it's seen as a credit card, even though the credit is only the money that you've loaded onto the card. Same thing with airline travel. You can travel with the QuantumFi credit card. You can use it for rental cars. It eliminates the barriers that exist with debit and prepaid debit. It also eliminates the maximum load capabilities, because one of the things that QFI did in order to support their high net worth clients, their crypto related clients, their family offices, is that they've created a card that can have as much as $100,000 loaded on the card at any time and 100,000 spent in one transaction. So really, truly revolutionary what's been done on the issuing side.
I don't know if there's anything you guys haven't thought of.
For real.
We tried.
So
And what we have thought of, it's coming.
Right.
that's right. That's right. Oh, and David, can you maybe speak to, or whoever wants to, the update that's coming very soon, you said, and what, like, people probably want to know, like, well, what cryptos can I send in here to use or send out and stuff like that?
Most definitely. And so actually all of the cryptocurrencies that are traditionally traded will be available to be traded within the platform. Really, the way that it works with exchanges is they will have different blockchains on their exchange. And some of these are small blockchains, so you get small cryptocurrencies, but the major blockchains are on all of the exchanges, which means we have the ability to support all of the major cryptocurrencies. So Bitcoin and Ethereum and the stable coins USDT and USDC. But that is very limiting because there are literally hundreds of other cryptocurrencies that are supported as well. I'm happy to take questions about them, but the reality is, if you can think of a cryptocurrency, it's supported on the platform. And by the way, there are some interesting cryptocurrencies like the Binance coin, which we can support as well, because you have a number of these exchanges that have developed their own coins, but because they have placed them onto a recognized blockchain, we have the ability to support that as well.
And David, we also have the ability to, if somebody is a white label or a platform client, they can integrate their own cryptocurrency, correct?
Well, that takes it to a whole new level, because you have a lot. You have a lot.
Well, I had to do that.
No, I'm glad you brought that up, because you have a lot of companies out there that have developed their own coin.
Yep.
The big problem for them is the coin is only worth the access to liquidity. And so they're out there issuing their coins. Their people have no ability to trade them. And if they can trade them, they can't liquidate them. Well, our platform changes that, because with a coin integrated onto our platform, you can sell your crypto and immediately have the fiat deposited into your bank account. It also solves a problem for someone that's selling their own coin, giving people immediate access to purchase that coin with the fiat that they have in their bank account. So we completely have changed the situation when it comes to companies that have their own coins, because we've solved the liquidity issue.
Yep.
Well,
I
that's
want to make
huge.
sure you guys heard that. That's a big deal. You guys know this.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know, one additional feature we have within our platform is that you can actually purchase crypto with a debit or credit card within our platform.
Oh wow. I didn't even know that. That's awesome.
Yep. We've integrated a gateway into the platform, giving clients the ability, if they choose to use something other than their balance on their bank account, or if they don't have a balance in their bank account, then they can use a credit or a debit card to purchase the crypto as well. Thank you, Coach. Absolutely so important.
Yeah, so I know your wheels are turning. That flow goes, okay, I can use my credit card, buy crypto, I can put it on my card, I can send it out. I mean, I can see, Mike, I can see how your wheels are just going right now.
He's like a NASCAR right now. Same with Ricardo too. I can see his wheels spinning too.
Oh yeah.
So I have I was gonna go over. I have it ready to pull up here. The three different options that you guys have that people can choose from. Is there anything else anyone wanted to hit on? We'll do that, and then Chris, if you want to talk about the marketing for a little bit, and then that'll probably do it. But is there anything else anyone wants to hit on? I know everyone's probably like blown away of like, this has 20 things all combined into one platform that we've never seen before.
Yeah, I'll just hit on the corporate side of things. So depending on somebody's use case or their business case, you know, we have single currency accounts, multi-currency accounts that David was talking about, the OTC and trading desk, the card issuing, but we also have white label capabilities. So somebody can literally come in and white label our platform, or we can send our APIs, our technology to their platform, and you can become your own bank. And so we have a lot of companies right now that are doing that because they want to brand it with their logos, they control the fees, and they just want to be their own bank. And we allow people to do that. We don't allow everybody to do that. It really depends on what their use case is. But if it fits the narrative, then we can definitely do that. And that's a major deal, because it's not a pooled account or none of that. It's the same thing, dedicated accounts being sent out. You have control of your fees, and it's your bank, and it's global. So if you have a global audience out there and you want to issue cards or open up accounts, because you have that kind of an audience, you can do that under your own label, your own name, and your own bank. So we have those capabilities as well. And that's all on the corporate side of the house.
No, I love it. Ricardo and I are manifesting. Definitely, we'd love to see a runner's card. So it's definitely something we're going to speak to you guys in the future.
You can do that.
So
this is Patrick here. I want to just interject for 1 second, if you don't mind, Mike.
Yeah.
May I?
Go for it.
Thank you very much. I would like something that most people overlook, even our whole team overlook. One of the most powerful systems in the system, Remittance. Right?
Good job,
David,
Patrick.
could you please address this Remittance, how we are connected almost everywhere around the world with Remittance? It's the most powerful market, but yet we seem to leave it on the side burners.
No, and that's a great point, and thank you so much, because the remittance side is really tied to the card. And so with the banking capabilities and having the ability to swift funds out and convert to crypto, oftentimes, as you said, we neglect the fact that we have a remittance powerhouse integrated. So when you've moved funds onto your card, that's when something magic happens as well, because we've integrated with a few major remittance companies that have integrated our card bin. And so just to give you an example, so let's say you moved $1,000 to your card and you're in China. Well, in China, Alipay and WePay are the two main wallets that people use to pay. Well, we actually, through our remittance partners, are tied into Alipay and WePay. And so it gives people the ability instantly to move funds from the card to those wallets in China, which is incredibly, incredibly interesting. The same is true with hundreds of thousands of cash pickup locations. And so throughout the world, and I'll use Mexico as an example, there are hundreds of thousands of locations where you can send cash with a code and you can pick up that cash. So for family members, if you want to deliver cash to them and have them access cash, or for you, if you need that cash, but more specifically for family and friends, directly within the remittance platform, you have the ability to put in your card number and instantly send money to what are hundreds of thousands of cash pickup locations as well. So local wallet capabilities. I mean, I'm going to add one more thing, because when you talk about Africa, for example, Africa, every country has their own integrated wallet, and wallets are actually huge in Africa. Well, we've integrated a number of the major wallets from Africa with our remittance partner, giving our clients the ability to instantly send funds to those wallets. And again, those are more popular than Visa and MasterCard in those countries, and that's how bills are paid. So the remittance piece really is incredibly valuable. So I'm really glad that you brought that up. And by the way, the group that we work with in Africa is M.Pesa. And M-Pesa is probably the largest wallet. They have tens of millions of people throughout Africa. And through our remittance partner, you can take funds from your card and instantly put it into your M-Pesa account. So really just taking that global capability and bringing it within our platform.
We also work with Vietnam too, because Vietnam, we're actually in a situation, we're talking to them right now about what David is talking about, because nobody can do anything in Vietnam except for Quantify Global. We can.
Wow. Yeah, it's like I've tried to send funds to people in the UK, Canada, Australia. It's about impossible. You got to jump through 5 different hoops, pay a bunch of fees. It's crazy. Yep. Let me pull this up here, and I don't know who wants to cover this, but I know we have three options that people can get started with. So whoever wants to kind of explain them and walk through that would be awesome.
Okay, yeah, we have 3 options. We call them our signature service packages, so they're SSP. And so our Quantum Nexus is our most economic package. That is our $200 package. And what comes along with that is an instant virtual card through a very slight KYC, where that can be Google Pay and Apple Pay enabled and very instantly. You'll also get a physical card mailed to you. And you can see that we have a $50,000 load limit on that. And so there is a one-time setup fee, and that is really economically priced for everyone across the world to take advantage of our services. And it comes along with the card services. It comes along with the international bank account number. It comes along with the banking services, the remittance, everything that you've heard here today. So we feel that that's a steal with our Quantify Global SSPs. And then it gets better with our Quantum Prime package. That is a one-time $500 setup fee, or 500 USDT or USDC crypto entry. And it's similar to our Nexus package, but we've added a metal card to that package, which is a very, very sleek metal package. It's the best out there. If you look on Facebook, you can see several of our members have it, and they're dropping it on purpose because it creates some noise out there. And so the other thing with that is we've increased the limit there to 100,000, and it's very important to notice there it says per transaction. David hit on that Patrick's showing his card right now.
I love it.
Go ahead and put your headphones on so it doesn't blast your eardrums off and then drop it. So the 100,000. Oh, you heard it.
I heard
That was
it.
beautiful.
That was a car accident outside.
Yeah.
So the 100,000 per transaction limit. You know, a lot of cards out there, you see they have a daily limit. This is per transaction. That means if, let's say you're buying a house, you know, $150,000 house, you can put the 100,000 down, use your account information, and then load it right back up again and put the extra 50 down. And so that's something that's very exciting with our Prime package. But once you take advantage of our Prime package, that's when you start to really get into one of the powerful statements of Quantify Global, and that's our rewards program. We are giving a portion of our rewards fees, actually a 10% portion of our rewards bucket that we set aside for qualified members within our compensation structure. And then and not just your compensation structure, but just a card holder that qualifies. And then Quantum Elite is again very similar to our Prime. And then we have some future VIP features coming with that. But the upfront, glaring, exciting statement with that program is that is very similar to the rewards pool with the Prime package, but we're increasing the percentage to this pool to 20% of our rewards bucket that we've dedicated to qualified cardholders. So that kind of, in a nutshell, is the features of the card itself. But we definitely have a very wonderful affiliate and compensation plan attached to that. If now is the time you want to talk about that, or you want to ask some questions about our our SSPs.
Yeah, let me ask one thing, and then I'll go to that slide in the video. Someone's going to ask me, well, how much can I withdraw from an ATM? And I don't think that necessarily has to do with you guys. It has to do more with the bank you're pulling it from. But can you go into that a little bit, and then I'll pull up the rewards.
Actually, yeah, I've personally used the card I've used it to withdraw, and it really is based on the ATM machine. You know, however much the limit on the ATM machine is, yes, there's a fee that comes along with that, as with many ATM fees. But you also can go into a bank and get cash on it. You know, I've gone into my bank and said, hey, listen, I want to take out this much money, and I've had that much money available that I can take it out. So, and that's just with my local bank. It's not even connected to my card. So, David, I don't know if you want to add anything else to that.
I would say I think that you really gave a very complete answer on that.
One more thing I wanted to add, and maybe this is going to be covered here. When I'm talking to people about our rewards program, I always say, everybody knows what cash back is, right? You know, if you have some card and it's got 2% cash back, you spend $1,000, you get that. That's great. You know, those programs are great. Our rewards program is a whole different ballgame, though. You're actually getting rewarded on global usage, not individual, global usage. So we'll get. I'll let Chris get into that on that slide you're about to pop up.
Perfect.
I can add to that, guys. Definitely, Coach Chris, before you jump in there. The rewards program has nothing to do with the commission structure, by the way, gentlemen. So if you are just on here and you're just using our card services and you say, hey, I want that reward, that's how it is. That reward is really what we did as a company, is what no bank has ever done before. You go ask a bank and ask them, hey, can I have a rev share of your global card fees? What are they going to tell you? They just basically laugh at you, right? So we've done exactly that. We've taken a good percentage, I'll say 30% of the company's global revenue from the card usage and fees, and we put it in a pool for any metal card holder, SSP holder. So it doesn't have to be an affiliate. It's any customer, any user that buys one of our SSPs will be in that pool. So I just want to make that clear. That's for global, for anyone.
Yeah, and that's huge. Again, just so you guys understand what they're saying is, maybe you're like, hey, I'm not a networker. You know, I don't like to talk to people. I don't like to tell them about stuff. As long as you get a Quantum Prime or Quantum Elite, and you it's basic. Just use the card. It's not anything wild of what you got to do to be active. You're gonna get rewards, and not, like they said, not just based on how much you swipe, like with your typical credit card, but on how much, global
Globally.
profit, money movement this entire bank is doing, which is, phenomenal for just 500 one time, 1,000. And someone's going to ask this, is there a monthly fee? I believe I looked and it's about $15, and that's just for the bank account. There's no like ongoing auto ship or anything like that. Someone just clarify that and let the people know how that works?
Yes,
That is true.
you hit it on the head. There's maintenance fees, and with the services that we provide in our our white glove service in the back office, those are very small fees to maintain our bank account and the back office.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, let's hit on the rewards if you do want to share this, and I think we'll be done.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, one of the things that that we wanted to consider here with our rewards program is, in the market, especially with the economic status that we're in, is that people are looking to earn now. And so, since we have a crypto only entry into our SSPs, that enables us to actually process a payment, pay out a reward that is withdrawable to be able to put on a card all immediately. And so that's pretty unheard of in the industry. You always have to wait for something to process and wait for a withdrawal. Whereas with our company, this is all instant. And so we have a 3-tiered affiliate structure, and that pays 30% on your front line, your direct referral. There's a 10% on the second line, and a 3% and on the third level, it's 5%. Now, if you're looking at this slide, this is in the perspective of you, where you're evaluating this. So this tells you how much you will earn from the activity within your network. So if you look on the left side, if somebody were to purchase one of our elite SSPs, what that for 1,000 USDT, you can see that is going to pay a 300 USDT instant bonus. Again, instant, that you can withdraw, that you can put on your card and use immediately. That's the 30%. If somebody purchases one of our Prime packages, you can see the 30% is 150. And if they purchase one of our Nexus packages, the instant is 60, which is 30%. Now, second level, again, this is the perspective of you. So if somebody on your second level purchases the elite package, they will also receive the same 30% or 300 that you received, but now you are going to receive a leveraged commission of 100 USDT. And as you follow down, you can see if they purchase a Prime on your second level, they will get the same 150 that you did, but you now will get 50. And the same thing for the Nexus, moving down, is the 20%. I mean, that's the $20 for the 10%. Now, lastly, the third level, you can see how at that perspective, that individual, if there is on your third level, there is a purchase of the elite package for 1,000. That person on that third level is going to receive the same 300 that you received. The second level is going to then receive the 100, and then you, being the third level away, is going to receive the 50. And so you can just follow along with that through the rest of that. But the power of that is the leverage, is that, it's very similar to the concept of your mortgage broker or your finance manager in an auto dealer, where they just get a little piece of leverage. And so that's a wonderful concept that we've adopted here. And then that is our upfront instant pay, and we've also added more of a monthly type. It's not a residual, but it's a qualification. And so if you want to switch to the next slide where we can talk a little bit in depth about the rewards program.
Let me see. I just got the video here. Is that one, or is there a better one?
It was, you know what? Yeah, if you go to where the pie. Yep, that's
that
good.
one. Okay.
Okay. So basically what we've done is we have, like Anthony said, we have taken the fees that we generate from within our platform and the affiliate structure. We've taken those fees and we have it in a bucket. And then we take 30% of that bucket and we reward it back to the qualified members, the qualified SSP holders. So we've illustrated here in this example a conservative $2 million bucket. And so a good way to make an analogy of that is, let's just say you have 1 million members within our structure, and they're all paying $2 in fees for the whole month. So that's a very conservative scale. We all pay more fees than that. So you could even look at it from a perspective. Let's say you had 500,000 members and they all were paying $2. so, or $4, that's very conservative and very reasonable. So you can see how the fees are going to accumulate here. And so what we've done is, out of that 30%, we've broken that into a pie. So you can see that pie there. The diamond is the biggest. That is our SSP that is not available yet. And then we have our pinnacle SSP, which is 30% of the fee bucket. And then what we have active currently is our prime and elite bucket. So as you saw in the explanation earlier, that 10% of qualified prime members, they share in that 10% of the fee of the 30% that we receive. So I don't want to confuse people with the 30 and the 10, but if you just think of it like this, out of the 30% out of the fees that we are giving to the community, think of that as a whole pie. And then 10% of that pie is going to be broken up to the qualified members of the prime reward pool. And then the same thing, 20% is going to be split between the qualified elite members, and then 30 for the pinnacle and 40 for the diamond. And so you can see how as our platform really takes more shape and gets adoption, like you guys can see, is so necessary. People, when they see this, are like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that you have this all in one place. And yes, we do. So when this reaches mainstream adoption across the world, where they're saying digital currency is what we're accepting, cryptocurrency is what we're accepting, everybody's going to be wondering, where do we go? And they're going to be falling into Quantify Global because it's all right here. And so when that happens, and I think the next slide talks just about a projection that, when we have 5 million users, 25 million users, imagine what that fee bucket's going to be. And imagine if you qualify for that. And it's very simple to qualify. You just have to have a certain number of swipes and a certain number of qualified transactions within our platform, which basically, like you said, Mike, is just utilizing the platform. Right. It's like, you have this system, you use it. It's our system. We provide all of this white glove service for you. We want you to use it. And when you say, hey, I love it, I'm using it, then we're going to reward you for it. And then lastly, we have our long term, we have ranking bonuses, we have team building bonuses. And so that's all exciting within our project too. So and we can really dig deeper into that in a further discussion. I know we're pushing here close to an hour, so just in the sense of time, but you can see how with our system giving all the technology that everybody needs, and we have an economic entry, we have other entry points as well, just kind of tailor suited for you. We are paying our commissions instantly. We have something that you can do now. We enable the way that you can earn something monthly by qualifying, and we have long-term as well too. So just every way that you look at Quantify Global, we're trying, like you said, we're trying to cover all the bases here from the vast experience that we bring to the table. So thank you for letting me share that part of our company.
Yeah, and I mean, you guys covered it all and nailed it. I'm so excited to bring this to our community and the world. Oh, yeah. Is there any before I let M.I.M.S kind of close us out and put a cherry on the top? Is there anything anyone else wanted to say? I think we've hit everything that I can possibly think of.
The only thing I'll say is that we really are solving, in my opinion, the two biggest problems in the world: the onboarding and offboarding of crypto.
Yep.
And how does Sally Soccer Mom, who's just getting into crypto, she's got a little white van and she's got Ethereum or Ripple, and she's like, oh, she's all excited. Well, how does she spend it at the grocery store? Well, we solved that problem. And that's a big, big problem out there. And the other problem to me personally, which is the biggest problem in the world, is control of your money. Because I don't know about all of you, but I work my tail end off for my money. And I should have the right, if I want to spend $17,000 on an airline ticket, I should be able to do that. And I bring that up because in 2023, I'll make this quick. I was going to Dubai, flying Emirates out of Seattle, first class. It was 17 grand. I had 55,000 in my B of A account, and I got declined 4 times over 4 days. I had to go through 5 different managers in different states to get that approved. I almost missed my flight, almost missed my event. It was for business, and it was my birthday. And that really, really upset me because I'm like, wait a minute. I earned that 55,000. I can pay 17,000. It more than covers that. And I got declined. So we solved that problem. If you have $17,000 on a QFI secured MasterCard charge card and you want to go on buy an airline ticket, you can swipe that bad boy and you're instantly approved. You have control of your money within our system. And to me, that is the biggest solve, the biggest solution in the world. because not one person I've ever talked to says, "Oh no, John, I don't want that. I want my money controlled."
And
Right? We solve that problem. So that's
and you
all I
know, I
want to
don't
say.
think we hit on this. I know this is what MIM's big deal is. Can
Yeah, I was
somebody
gonna ask it.
cover?
Well, no, I was gonna say I was probably gonna ask it if you might be talking about what they need to set up the account. Probably was that where you're going?
I just wanted someone to speak to that. You get an international banking account essentially even when you're in the United States. Can anyone hit on that really quick?
Yeah, no, you do. You get an international bank account, and depending on what you need, you can have several different currencies accounts set up. It just depends on what your use case is and what you need.
Love it.
But yes, you
And
can.
people pretty much set up their account with a passport or an ID to set up your bank account.
Yeah, just a real simple KYC.
Very user friendly, very mobile friendly.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's next
Well,
level.
MIMS, you know, I'm excited, but I want to give you the chance to just kind of break this down for the people and let them know how massive and groundbreaking and revolutionary this is with QuantumFi.
Yeah, when I heard about it, I thought about liberty or freedom. You talked about, John just talked about the ability to move your money. Okay, we talk about the security. Okay, and obviously it's a global economy, and everything is going blockchain based and digital. And anytime you have innovation of this magnitude, and to be first and to be early on something like this is huge. It's huge. The ability to connect with institutions, the high net worth, the unbanked. Like I said, they thought of everything. This is literally for everybody. Everybody needs a QFI account. I want to see why everybody in the world would not utilize and leverage this platform. I know people who have multiple bank accounts just because, for multiple reasons, whether it's the FDIC, only covering a certain amount of their money in one account, or whether one banking institution or not. But pretty much most people have multiple bank accounts. Everyone needs a QFI account, in my opinion. If you just process this information, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer.
We also have those insurances too, just so you know, the FDIC and all that. We also have that as well.
Awesome.
Oh, okay. That's huge. I didn't even know that.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Awesome.
we do.
Yeah. So the ability to set up an account with the ability to take advantage of all this, and just simply have your passport or your ID, and the ability to put yourself in position to earn for sharing something as powerful as this. There's no banking platform institution that has this and is doing this, to my knowledge. So this is something that people are going to want to not only take advantage of, but share this out. Let people know that this exists, and you're going to be rewarded for it, because especially if you are benefited from the bonus pool. You know what I mean? And
and remember, that's instantly. And it's very simple. As soon as you get your affiliate link, become an affiliate and follow the steps, and you're in like that, and you're in. It could be within 5 minutes that you have money loaded into your account. So it's a beautiful situation.
And the bonus pool, the bonus, I did not mean to interrupt you. The bonus pool is so cool because it's every month. And think about this. I always tell everybody, we're one big family. We're collaborating together. The more users that we have, the more people using the system globally, the bigger the pools get. There's no cap on it. I don't know about you all. I've seen some other things where they have a cap. We have no cap here. There could be $10 million in the diamond pool, $20 million in the diamond pool that people are sharing in every month down the road as we grow. And how do we do that? By what Ricardo just said, by simply sharing this, getting this out there. People need this anyway. Nobody has what we have. It's solving so many problems. And the more people that come in and utilize the system instead of the other banks out there, they don't need that anymore. They can do everything here. The larger those pools get. That's what's so incredible. There's no cap. I just want to throw that out there.
And I will put it out here first that you folks, your organization needs to stay tuned here as we wind down the end of June, because we have a major announcement when it comes to the reward pools that nobody wants to miss.
No. Yeah, I say all the time, if you want to increase your passive income in life, you need to increase your passive impact in people's lives, and this is massively impactful for the global economy, for everybody. So definitely take advantage and lock in.
One last thing I forgot is your guys' fees are so ridiculously low. I mean, when you just get raked over the coals in most other platforms when you're converting from fiat to crypto and crypto trading, and then you're sending it out and they take more fees. I mean, I think it's I've seen some where it's like 15, $30 for, you know, every $1,000 you're doing. Can someone speak to that really quick, how low your fees are, and then we'll be done?
Yes, our fees are very low. They're not egregious at all. I think the wire fee is like 20 or $30. The cool thing when you own your own, when you white label, you actually get to control the fees. So the fees are whatever you want them to be. The fees within the banking though is extremely low, 1 to 2%, depending on what you're doing. I've seen 4 or 5% out there. So based on the customers and clients that I've talked to, they're all blown away by how low our fees are. Definitely, we have a win there for sure. We're not here to rake people over like you just said. So many companies make their money, they're greedy, and we're not greedy at all.
Right.
Not at all. We're here to actually help and service and be of aid to people, not rake them over the coals. So that's the difference.
I love it. Well, thank you guys for tuning in and watching.
definitely.
You know, whoever shared this video with you, make sure you get back with them. Reach out to Ricardo and I to get our links as well if you're running with the runners. M.I.M.S, did you have one last word?
No, I'm just pumped. The value here is a no-brainer. I think that there are massive amounts of people that are getting ready to come into QFI, and you want to put yourself in position to be the one to share it with them. Obviously, from the rewards plan and just being able to add value to somebody's life. So definitely take advantage, lock in, run with the runners, lace up. Y'all know what time it is.
All right, thank you guys. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate your time.